Hello again, and welcome back to ToTray and Ludwig's castle in Bavaria. Ludwig, the Mad King of Bavaria. Mad because, partly because of the attitude, given the time, that would make somebody want to build a castle like this. I actually brought it up on Google Maps. There it is from space. And satellite image. You can see that tower there. It's the same tower. This one. So I guess that image, if I were to, wonder if I can rotate that image. Probably not. This is, and well, we're looking this way. No, that thing there. I think it's here. There's some steps there. We're definitely not looking from this side. We're looking from this side. And the steps are hidden underneath there. You can go closer. As close as I get. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 towers. 1, 2, 3. And I guess that's the one. No, these are paired. Just want to make sure I got the right castle. Yeah. Okay, those are the paired ones. That's the big one there. You can't see that. See, here's a little tower thing. In any event, I'm sure it's the same castle. And that's enough of that. So, now back to our famous problem. First, I'm going to do that to protect myself. And, I'm just going, what I'm going to do here is just kind of go ahead and do what I said I was going to do. So the first step then is we don't want this, we want this tray to handle our this tray messages. So we don't need this. We'll call that. This here, we should generate this number. Constant number. Put that here because all the rest are going to go. Same as these. Now the constant number can't be written to. So how are you supposed to set it? Well, you set it in constructor. And that should be our constructor. Okay, now that's this part. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, that's the notify. Oh, no, that's timer. Okay, timer. Now we could make a function called onTimer. But before doing that, let me delete these. We won't need them. Okay. Let's change this slightly. Or this. we won't need, actually, we don't want. What we don't want is this, really. Well, better leave it. Better leave it. Now, I'm just thinking that I know that the command line that gets passed into here, quotes or no quotes, it's just a single string. But then how do we know which part is the quote? We have to, do some parsing. We already did the parse. Okay. So now this is what happens when timer thing is event occurs, and we don't have a function like that. We have a function called add tip, or set tip, I think. Right? Yeah. And what was it? Just to get the window back. Yeah, I could make a void version of that. Oh no, but it's not our window. It's the window. Yeah. Now it's going to be something that I haven't filled in yet. So let's put some question marks here. It might be good to make this function, but whatever. Now this message, we don't even know what the message is. This comes into a callback, and we go to the parent class, name of the callback. Well, the compiler will tell us if we ever tried to compile it here. Now I tried to change this. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't help. I can still say, what I need to do is should do is make those explicit. Message could stay UN, but I could make this an explicit type, icon ID as an explicit type, and then we won't get the two confused. One has to be the magical name. Okay, so we need that callback. First path to here. Third callback. And I guess we'll put everything in the class. Well, let me do the thing I want to do first so that I can get rid of this question. I don't need this really. I'm just going to use the list here. And what I'm going to do is this takes an hwin. We don't need that. It's not console really. It can, with the original version, it was only a console. Now it's anything too high. I'm just going to add that to our list of hidden. It says already hidden windows. I could change that name, but that's what it ultimately will be in the end. So I'm going to secretly use this list to pass that to hold on to this handle just as long as we need it, and I'm going to get rid of it. And so it's going to wind up at the head of this. It's always going to be at the head. Well, I always wind at the head of this list, don't I? Okay, so maybe I won't remove this. Oops. If I can make sure that this is always, it currently is always at the head, then I can always reference it that way. Okay. Let's see, notify delete, we don't need. There's no need to show a timer. Yeah, because the whole program's going to close. Show all the windows, and that's it for that. Get rid of all these lines. We won't need this. WM create. We won't need this. We have that. We won't need this. And the reason for that is following. Gone here. Switch to no switches. All we care about is the number of arguments. We don't need that moving. No, while I'm here, I might as well handle that error. If there's no arguments, then there better be a console to hide. Otherwise, there's nothing to do. Okay, that's handled. Well, this won't work. A message box should work. There's the title of this box. It should be password. This is the one I wanted, I think. It'll have look like a warning error. We could use this. No, this is better. Okay. Now, all this is the same. Now, what we want to do is use that special new class we have. This is create struct. Oh, no, yes, we want this. With wind class EX. So this is a thing that fills in wind classes for us. Fills in all the defaults. And I want to set the icon here instead of up in that WM create. And that code is however we got that. We won't want this. And this. We'll find that also. Well, I can't find it. Well, I sort of remember what it was. Get window icon. And that would be the icon of the window that we intend to hide, which is called window to hide. Not that hard. So we'll register that in class. And so that means that the icon is just the icon is set in the window class structure immediately. The rest stays the same. So that part's done. Okay, so we have to make sure that the message doesn't care about this part. That's one quick way to do it. Okay, so far so good. Now this is, like I said, always at the head of the list. That's right. You have to make sure of that somehow. And that's the same as this. So actually that'd be extracted as well. It doesn't matter. Get head is instant because it doesn't have to walk through the list. Okay. That's the same as, what is this? Well, we don't have this file, so let's kill those, so it doesn't matter. No, it's not there. Now, this needs to be true. And if we return -1 at WM create, the window won't get created and the window will stop. Okay. Now I can say get head here. That's on the list. And this enumeration is going to add that one again. And I don't have enough pen unique. Well, I can do a find of it and then delete one of them, and then no, but I gotta put and delete them all. Or I can have it twice. No, I don't want it twice. Yeah, how about I pop head? So now the list should be empty. This will fill up the list. The enum prop actually does the hiding here. So that part is taken care of. It'll be hidden. And all I want to do here now is I want to move the. I'm going to save that on. Yes. Is that just a temporary? Okay. What do I do? Find that HFrame, and then I want to remove that from the list. Well, usually the list has got one element in it, but if there's more, remove that clause, and then just add to the head of the list. So now that's settled that problem. It's always at the head. It's always the first element. I could have put it at the tail too. However you want to do it. Okay. We need to do a init tray icon. Now, what do we need here? The text, right? I can do that at the bottom. I could do it at the bottom or the top. Doesn't matter. Just separate these into their sections. So here, proc IP is however we use that. You know, I didn't really need to do that because it's not being used anywhere. I can see that. So I can use my special temp arg, which has a pointer cast. Alright. All we want is this main thread. That's the main thread of the window. All windows associated with that thread, we want to hide. And they will hide their children, their child windows if they have any. And they will. Alright. Okay. Actually, we know it's going to be in there, so we can trust it. This is definitely going to succeed. We don't need a variable. And then we add it back to the head. I could turn this into one function, move to head as a member function of ts list. Now the one thing we're missing is this. And that enables the callback to work. And so I think we're going to I cut out a bit where I forgot this line. I forgot to put this line in and ran the program. It worked great, but I couldn't get the thing back out. And the thing I wanted to get out was the recorder. So I had to record myself struggling to try and get that thing out of the system tray without any. This is an insert. At this point in the video, I should have mentioned and will mention now. Basically, the lesson. If this is a lesson, in programming, and not necessarily anything to do with the system tray, then I have to mention this bit. And this bit comes from the same person, Steve McGuire, I mentioned previously, who wrote that book, Writing Solid Code. And in that book, right near the beginning, he describes what he calls the two critical questions that a programmer has to ask themselves every time they run into a bug. And he even describes, I've got it here in the book, the two critical questions, and what they mean in terms of this book. Now, the most critical requirement for writing bug-free code is to become attuned to what causes bugs. And all the techniques and guidelines presented in this book, are the result of programmers asking themselves two questions over and over again, year after year, for every single bug they've found in their code. And those questions are these. A. How could I have automatically detected this bug? How could I have prevented this bug? Okay. Now I went through that just automatically because I always do. And I didn't include that in the video. And I think that the exclusion of that part is really the exclusion of one of the key, maybe the most important lesson to learn from this video. That bug, okay, which caused me to have to struggle and search and try to get this window visible again, was a result of me forgetting to add this line here. So I asked myself, as I always do, how could I have automatically detected that bug, right? And so I came up with a very simple answer. The bug, okay, will always, any program that uses this class is going to call this function. Agreed? Right? I mean, you have to init the tray icon. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen. Otherwise, something else will assert. So I know with absolute certainty that this function is going to get called, and it's going to get called after receiving a w create message. And this is meant to be put first. Okay? Now, if you put that on the bottom, the assertion I've placed in there would still fire. But you can easily fix that by moving this up to the top. So what I did was I invented a Boolean called windproc running, okay, which is a member of systray window. And when I receive a wm create message, I set it to true. Okay, and then in init tray icon, first I assert that the windproc running Boolean is true. Okay, so the assertion box comes up. When you press OK or whatever, or run stop to, or whatever the middle button says, the second part of the question, how can I have prevented this bug? First, now I've automatically detected it, but somebody coming to this line without this little question here might still not understand exactly why they've made a mistake. And the question says, did you forget to call is private message in your windproc? Yes, I did. So that automatically detects and also explains how to fix in one step that bug, and so that bug will never occur, and it will never happen to me again. So I'll never make that bug. I'll never make that mistake ever again. I mean, if I do make that mistake, I'll be told about it and forced to do it correctly, and that's a major lesson that you should really I don't know how to say with enough emphasis, but really burn into your brain just these two questions. Every time you run into a bug, ask yourself these two questions. Okay, how could I have prevented it? Well, I've actually not automatically prevented it, but I've automatically detected it, and in this case, that's good enough. That prevents it from occurring. In some cases, you can prevent a bug from occurring, so that it'll never get detected because it's somehow, but you can work it out that the bug just simply cannot be. There's no way to construe a scenario which includes that bug. That would be like using a template copy, string copy thing, where the size is automatically set to the size of an array or something. Like some of those other things that I've looked at before, where you can just simply eliminate a particular type of bug by syntax. The thing just won't compile with the bug in it. Anyway, just remember these two questions. Every time you run into a bug, ask yourself those questions, and then take the steps to actually do it. You also, you can ask the questions and just sort of ponder about the fact that, oh yeah, I guess I could have fixed it this way, but then you should go and fix it too. That helps. All right. Okay. Long answer, but valuable. With our program, I had to use the tools and find the H-wind. Okay. So now the experiment was this. Google. No, I wanted to get rid of this one. I believe it's. I'm going to trust myself here. Screen cap. Is that what it says? Something screen C. Here it goes. Okay. So it's there. It's not here. And now it should come back out. And it did. Okay. So it's done. Now we shall notice that let's see. There's essentially one variable. Okay. And it only ever contains one element. We better test the case where it contains more. Just to be sure. So now this one, as you know, has two. Another one that has this problem is the virtual dove has I think it's got download in its name. Okay. Alright, let's try it out. There, it worked. It's not here. There's no remnant. no remnants of it. Let's bring it back. So that's done and that's working and everything's fine. Now I get to turn this into I probably should call this on timer, call that. In general, I can add that. That's something that I'd like to add in general to our window class. Like this. This is a standard callback. On timer is certainly standard enough, right? People use timers all the time. But I don't need to do that now. Now you have to ask yourself, besides this timer, which does nothing but set the window text, I guess we could check if that works. We could use virtual dub. Just press the key. If I open a big file, something fairly big. Now this is the last lesson. 120 is pretty big. Now full processing mode. Suppose I'm resized it or something. And to resize, we add a resize filter. And let's suppose we just want to change the size by a percentage. 50%. Now that's not going to work, but I can make it work. I put in here, changing that to either a 4 or 2, because the codec. I don't know if you know about codecs, but the compression tool I'm using is called XTreme, which is based on DivX or vice versa. Because it requires, or won't work, if the size of the video, its dimensions are not even numbers. If it's odd numbers, it'll fail the compression. So it has to be a 2 or a 4 or whatever they call codec friendly dimensions. Audio should be streamed. Now what I want to do is I'm going to do a 2-pass encoding. So now first pass, it doesn't matter what you said. All that does is it runs through the video and looks for builds one of those graphs. So let's say F7. Let's say I'm not really saving 50%. Call it that. It says save. Now it turns out that now see that's pretty slow. When that thing's minimized, it shows a percentage. So see, normally I use this, which has that flag. I'm not going to use that. What I want is to select the video that says, the process. I want this one. Percent space bracket lesson. That one. So right, I can select percent. See, it doesn't matter which one you choose, as long as they're in the same thread. It'll hide all of them. Oh, dear God. Oh, I forgot my. Hey, my assert worked. I forgot quotes. Oh, that tested that too. Okay, now you see, it says 13% now, and if our timer thing is working, when it changes, it should also change in the bubble test. Now, it runs pretty slow, but oh, there it is, 14. See, it's going up. So now being able to do that gets it out of my face and allows me to check its current status. Right? This thing, for instance, which is doing an encoding as well, doesn't give me any status information. This one does. Now I can just interrupt that if you really want to see this thing. What you do is, once that's done, then you go to compression again and configure, and then you say second pass. And then I have a little calculator here. You can either just set the size you want, that you expect it to be, or you can use a little calculator thing, depending on, if it's, in this case it would have been this frames per second, and I know I have to find out the time. It's 17 minutes 30. So to use the calculator, so I say 1730 NTSC, that's right for the bit rate, and now I want to choose a value for the target size that has the kind of bit rate that I would like. So let's say if it was half size, it's a pretty big video already. Now I want good quality, so I'd like this to be about 2000. So maybe that. So that's 300. This many K bytes. Is that 300 megs, I guess? Size, little k, kilobytes. Meg, okay, so the video size is 274 megabytes divided by 1,000. Okay, that's the video size, and in total it'll be about 300 meg. And half the size with a bit rate, a video bit rate of about 2,000 K. That's how you resize. That's how you do a 2-pass resize manually. It doesn't give you that nice. It doesn't give you that nice picture that this thing gives you. It shows you it going up and down. Okay, well, that's it. Now, before I go, unless somebody jumps up and says, "Stop, we've heard enough," I have this program, and this is still using MFC because I don't know how to do the little icon, this little icon thing, and I would like to be able to figure that out. How to make another kind of control with a list control and includes an icon. So that means I would be able to convert this back into using my own classes, so that I don't have to rely on MFC for one, and I get to understand how that particular thing works. It uses something called an image list. So I have to see what an image list is. So, image list is probably not a trivial thing, because it's Windows, and if it's Windows and it's images, then it's all that craziness they came up with, that animated GIF. It's going to be some. It's not going to be easy, right? It's going to be a matter of just finding the magical phrase that you've got to put somewhere to make it all work. Okay, so until next time, see you. I suppose I can tack this on again. If you call like this program. Okay. This displays a changing percent. It only does it. See, it doesn't display it unless I minimize this. Now what I've done is made a batch file and just use percent bracket, and that should do it. Now in one, I just type these letters, and I've got my thing here. So that's very convenient. That's what's good about it being something I can run from the command line, is I can put it into a batch file. Okay.